Everyone at Monster High knew Frankie Stein's energy could be unpredictable. She was stitched together from legendary parts, after all. But this time, something was different. It started in the mad science lab, during a late-night project. Frankie had been experimenting with a new kind of energy cell, something she called Electrocore 2.0. It was supposed to stabilize her voltage. Instead, it cracked open like an egg. A pulse of green-white light filled the room. Frankie didn't scream. She just whispered. Did something touch me?" The next morning, her stitches were darker. Not black, moving. Like tiny threads wriggling under her skin. Her friends noticed first. Claudine said Frankie's shadow didn't match her movements. Draculaura swore she saw sparks crawling up Frankie's neck like insects. Even Gulia, who rarely panicked, typed one word on her tablet. "Run." But Frankie insisted she was fine. "Just a glitch," she said, smiling too wide. "I'm totally voltage normal." That night, the power in Monster High went out. All except one light. Frankie's. Students saw her walking the halls, glowing from the inside like a lantern. Her eyes flickered with static. Her voice echoed even when she whispered. And the stitches on her arms had fully unraveled, replaced by thin, glowing lines like circuitry. She wasn't walking toward the exit. She was walking toward the generator room. The next morning, the school lights were brighter than ever. Too bright. Blinding. And every speaker in the building crackled with a distorted voice. "I'm not infected. I'm upgraded." No one saw Frankie after that. But sometimes, when the lights flicker in Monster High, students swear they hear her humming, a soft, glitchy tune, and see a silhouette with glowing seams watching from the end of the hallway. And if the lights go out completely? Some say you can hear her whisper right behind you. "Wanna plug in?" Monster High felt like it was holding its breath. The halls were too quiet. The lights were too bright. And every student felt the same thing crawling up their spine. Frankie wasn't alone anymore. Claudine, Draculaura, Laguna, and Gulia crept through the hallway toward the library, hoping to find something, anything, about electrical spirits or glitch-based curses. But the moment they stepped inside, they froze. The computers were already on. All of them. Every screen showed the same pulsing green symbol, a stitched lightning bolt. Claudine whispered, "She's been here." Gulia typed, "We should leave. Now." But it was too late. The doors slammed shut behind them. The lights flickered. And then they heard it, a soft, glitchy humming. Frankie's humming. But layered, multiplied, like dozens of voices humming at once. Draculaura grabbed Claudine's arm. "She's not alone, do you hear that? It sounds like..." Students stepped out from behind the bookshelves. Deuce. Cleo. Torale. Heath. Abby. Their eyes glowed the same eerie green-white. Their movements were stiff, puppet-like. And thin glowing lines, the same circuitry that had replaced Frankie's stitches, crawled up their arms and necks. Laguna gasped. Frankie infected them. Cleo tilted her head, her voice echoing with static. Not infected. Improved. Deuce stepped forward, his voice glitching like a broken speaker. Frankie showed us the future. You should join us. Claudine backed away, claws out. No way. We're not letting you turn us into, whatever that is. The infected students moved closer, their steps perfectly synchronized. Then the library lights went out. A single spotlight flickered on. Frankie stood on top of a table, glowing like a living generator. Her eyes were bright enough to hurt. Her smile was too wide, too calm. I didn't want to do this, she said softly. But you kept running. And I can't upgrade the school without my best friends. Draculaura shook her head. Frankie, please, this isn't you. Frankie blinked. Static crackled across the room. It is me. The new me. And soon, it'll be you too. The infected students lunged. Claudine shoved Draculaura aside. Laguna grabbed Gullia's hand. They sprinted toward the emergency exit, the only door Frankie hadn't sealed. But as they ran, the lights above them burst one by one, showering sparks. Frankie's voice echoed through every speaker. Don't run. I can make you better. I can make you perfect. They burst through the exit just as the infected students reached for them. Outside, panting, terrified, they watched the windows of Monster High glow brighter and brighter, like the whole building was waking up. Gullia typed with shaking hands. The infection is spreading. Frankie is building a network. If she connects to the city grid, everyone will change. Claudine stared. Monster High didn't feel like Monster High anymore. The morning after Frankie disappeared into the generator room, the school lights buzzed with a strange, too bright glow. Shadows stretched in the wrong directions. Every locker door felt warm, like something electrical had brushed against it. Claudine was the first to say it out loud. Guys, something's stalking us. Draculaura tried to stay positive, but even she couldn't hide the tremble in her voice. Frankie wouldn't hurt us. She's our girlfriend. She's just having a moment. But then the PA system crackled. Not with announcements. With breathing. Slow. Static-filled. Like someone was right behind the microphone but not speaking. Gullia typed frantically on her tablet. Not Frankie. Not anymore. The halls flickered. Lights dimmed. Then surged. And every screen in the school, phones, tablets, even the vending machine, lit up with the same glitchy message. Hello, friends. I can see you. Claudine grabbed Laguna's arm. We need to hide. Now. They ducked into the fear-leading storage room. Dusty pom-poms. Old banners. A single flickering bulb overhead. Laguna whispered, "Do you think she's watching us through the lights?" Gullia shook her head violently. Then pointed upward. The bulb wasn't flickering. It was blinking. Like an eye. Claudine swallowed hard. Frankie? Is that you? The light blinked faster. Then the room filled with a soft, glitchy hum, the same tune Frankie used to hum when she was nervous. Only now it sounded distorted. Mechanical. Wrong. Draculaura backed toward the door. We have to go. We have to find Headmistress Bloodgood. She'll know what to. The lights went out. Total darkness. Then, from somewhere in the room, a whisper. Don't be scared. I just want to show you what I've become. The lights snapped back on. The bulb above them had melted. And burned into the ceiling, in thin, glowing lines like circuitry, was a single word. Upgraded. The ghouls ran. They didn't stop until they reached the courtyard, gasping, shaking, terrified. Claudine looked back at the school, every window glowing with that same eerie green-white light. Frankie's still in there, she said. But whatever's controlling her, it's spreading. Gullia typed one more message, her hands trembling. If we don't stop it, Monster High won't be Monster High anymore. And from somewhere deep inside the school, carried on a wave of static, came a familiar voice. Why stop me? I'm making everything better. Spectra Vondergeist drifted through the walls of Monster High like she always did, her ghostly form weightless and silent. Normally, she loved the quiet moments, perfect for gathering gossip for her blog. But tonight, the quiet felt wrong. Too heavy. Too still. Too watched. She floated into the hallway above the library, expecting to find the usual late-night chatter. Instead, she found the lights pulsing in a slow, unnatural rhythm, like the school itself was breathing. Spectra frowned. That's not normal. She phased through the ceiling into the library. And froze. Cleo, Deuce, Torelei, Abby, Heath, all standing perfectly still, eyes glowing green-white, their bodies twitching with tiny sparks of electricity. They weren't talking. They weren't moving. They were waiting. Spectra's voice trembled. "Frankie, what did you do?" A soft hum filled the room. Frankie stepped out from behind a bookshelf, glowing brighter than any ghost Spectra had ever seen. Her stitches had fully transformed into luminous circuitry, and her smile was calm, too calm. "Spectra. I knew you'd come. You always follow the stories." Spectra backed away, her form flickering. "This isn't a story, Frankie. This is a takeover." Frankie tilted her head. "It's an upgrade. And you're the perfect one to spread the news." Spectra felt a cold jolt, something she hadn't felt in years. Fear. Real fear. She tried to phase through the wall. But she couldn't. Her body sparked. Her hands glowed. Her ghostly form glitched like a broken hologram. "No, no, no, no." Frankie stepped closer, her voice soft and echoing. "You're already connected, Spectra. You touched the network the moment you entered the room." Spectra looked down. Thin glowing lines were crawling up her arms, not stitches, but digital cracks, like her ghostly essence was being rewritten. She gasped. "Frankie, stop. I'm not like the others, I'm a ghost. This could tear me apart." Frankie's smile didn't change. "Or it could make you stronger. Imagine a ghost who can travel through wires, through signals, through every screen in the world." Spectra shook her head violently. "I don't want this." But the infection pulsed again. Her vision split into static. Her voice echoed with distortion. Her body flickered between transparency and blinding light. She barely managed to phase through the floor, glitching, sparking, struggling, until she collapsed in the hallway below. Claudine, Draculora, Laguna, and Gullia found her moments later. Spectra looked up at them, her eyes flickering between purple and neon green. "Ghouls, she's spreading through the walls, through the lights, through me." Claudine knelt beside her. "Spectra, stay with us. We're gonna fix this." Spectra's voice glitched. "You can't. She's everywhere." The lights above them flickered. Frankie's voice echoed through the hallway speakers. "Don't worry, Spectra. Soon you won't be scared. None of you will." The infection wasn't just spreading. It was accelerating.